A clock that keeps track of the planet's positions perfectly, streets imbued with alchemical rumors of golems being created. Prague is the last known location of Grim Fawley. Why did he choose Prague in particular, and where is he now?
We don't know. All we got are suspects. My job, find out who.
Hey there, Wizarding World. My name is Zoe. This is Snitches and Witches, and welcome to Storyline Saturday, where we are going to be taking a deep dive into Prague, the only location I would consider going to if offered an NDA. Hint, hint, Warner Brothers. Grim talked about going to Prague in a note that he wrote to Now during the prequel section. If you haven't checked out that video, make sure to go check that out. He also requested a lot of ancient tomes from a library there. That was denied, and then he requested a port key. After that, we get an incident report from a library in Prague that says that several of their tomes have gone missing, and they are fairly certain it was a recent visitor to the library. Greengrass says they're too territorial and won't talk to peasants like us, and obviously that is heckin' sus, because we know how sus Greengrass is. Why wouldn't they talk to us for an ongoing investigation with international ramifications? There is no reason for a friendly... So he went there for a purpose, but what? What was he seeking? Now we know what. He was there for books. But why Prague? Why did he think Prague would hold the answers that he sought? We know that before this, he goes to Japan, and in Japan, he also steals some possibly books, possibly artifacts, whatever was that. In turn led him to Prague. Maybe, we think possibly. I'm still putting together my research on why I think he went to Japan. It's a lot of research, it's a lot of things. But still, on the second try, he goes to a place that gives him enough information to cause an international incident. That's pretty good odds. The ADD is high, but it'll make for silly pauses. Got a new SD card, micro SD, for my Switch. And I'm very, very excited about it. You should go follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv.com/ZoeIndex, where I am decorating my island for Halloween. Okay, so a few of the landmarks in Prague are pretty interesting, and I mentioned one of them at the start, and that is the Astrological Clock. This thing... I remember the day that me and Gita from over at Gita Lovegood and Lynette from Wizard PhD decided to start researching the calamity and all of this other stuff. We started researching things that were in the note that Grim started to write, and we of course tried to pick apart that hidden message, but then realized there was something very particular about Prague. And Gita just searched magic in Prague and came up with this. Does this look like the Makusa clock or our threat clock? It's pretty much identical. I have said this on multiple occasions. Check this out. It is the oldest functioning astrological clock in existence, and it stands in Prague. And in fact, at the top of every hour, there are 4 animated figures that come to life and chime. And their 4 animated figures are representations of vanity, lust, greed, and death. And death rings a bell, and the animated figures shake their head because they are not ready to depart Earth at that moment or at that hour, as if death is asking, yo, are we ready to leave humans alone yet? And they're like, nope, not at all. It's also covered in astrological symbols. It tracks the movement of the planets, whether or not there's going to be an eclipse, and a lot of other really cool stuff. There is an actual animation of this in an astrological clock that you can look up online, and it can show you the exact position of the clock on as it stands currently or on certain days, and it's pretty heckin' cool. The clock runs in a 24-hour cycle rather than the usual 12-hour cycle because it's Europe and that's how they prefer things, and also it's easier to track things if it's a 24-hour cycle instead. Do I think that it has any bearing on the calamity? Not particularly, but it gives us pretty good insight, and it could help us figure out when bigger events are coming, because there's an astrological clock, and we know a lot of magic has to be done at certain times during certain star cycles in order order to be successful. Things like the Animagus charm, and even the Polyjuice potion has stuff that you have to do during the full moon as well. Prague also has a rich alchemic history, and we already know that there was an alchemist who was very, very famous in the Harry Potter universe, Nicholas Flamel. And Nicholas Flamel made the Philosopher's Stone. Well, Prague may have been one of the places where a lot of research was done into that. In fact, we know a lot of research was done, and there are rumors that somebody actually was successful. Prague is also the home to Faust's house, which, if you've never read Faust, you know, deal with the devil, Faustian agreements, that sort of good stuff. There are also rumors that there are alchemic symbols etched into walls, into streets, into bridges, all over the place in order to give the city more alchemic power. We also know that people like Edward Kelly, John Dee, and even, what's his name? Johann Kepler all had residence in Prague at one time, and they all seem to coincide with Rudolf II's rule. Rudolf II really, really liked alchemy. He sponsored many alchemists to come stay in Prague and to do their research, paid a lot of money for them to do their research. He had them stationed in Golden Lane, the alchemist's route. There's also a cathedral that is called Vitus Cathedral, and upon the summer solstice, the sun falls directly on Vitus Cathedral because it was designed to do so. They have a lot of weird places that are designed like this, including a bridge whose date is a palindrome, which is a number that can be read the same forwards as well as backwards. So between locations for deals with the devil, alchemic practices that may have led to the creation of the Philosopher's Stone, there's also an entire synagogue that is just dedicated to the creation of golems, which are clay beings with the Hebrew word for life etched into their heads so that they are autonomous humanoid things that are supposed to be protectors. It's like, you see the golems in Minecraft? Yeah, these guys, yeah, those guys are like sweet little puppies compared to the actual golems. Ooh. So we know that Grim requested some books from a certain library in Prague. And while it's highly unlikely that wizards are using a public library, I figured it would be worth finding out if there are any libraries in Prague that may hold really old books, and oh my goodness gracious. You search for libraries in Prague and this is what you get. All right, let's eliminate the municipal library, the national libraries, the university libraries, and then take out this place called the Library of Things, which is just a minimalist library full of crap that they hope people don't use on a daily basis so you can keep up your minimalist lifestyle and, you know, rent a screwdriver for a few hours. Okay, and then you get this place. Strahov, I hope I'm saying that right, library. The library is in the Strahov Monastery and it is one of the best preserved and most extensive library of ancient texts. It's comprised over 200,000 books, including 3,000 manuscripts and 1,500 first editions. It consists of 2 different halls, and this is from onepragueguide.com. After his pilgrimage to the Holy Land in 1138, Bishop Olmund had the idea of establishing a monastery of canons regular in Prague. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, yada yada, do do do. After 1989, when the abbey was returned to the pre-monasterians, costly reconstruction of the entire complex began and is still going on to this day. They are still restoring this stuff. So the portion we're going to focus on is the Philosophical Hall, which looks like this, and holy crap, that place is beautiful. Can I just go hang out? Probably not with a cup of coffee, because they're probably not gonna let me with a cup of coffee into that place. If you want to see a really cool quick tour of that, there are some links to some YouTube videos in the description, and it's so pretty! There's one particular spot that I thought was incredibly interesting about Strahov, which is the Cabinet of Curiosities and the Connecting Passage. The Connecting Passage, we can see a number of volumes mainly related to medicine, law, alchemy, and metallurgy. Beyond the Dendrology Library, in the back wall of the passage, there's an elusive perspective painting by Achbauer, I forget all of my art history, from 1825, which extends the corridor by means of optical illusion. A facsimile of the Strahov Evangeliary is represented on a special stand. Its codex, which is older than the Czech state, is dated 860 and 865 and comes from Trier in and around 1100. It was still the property of the local monastery of St. Martin. If you want to go to Strahov after COVID and all of that fun stuff and all of the quarantine shenanigans are lifted, you can. You can get a normal tour for around $100 US, or if you want a VIP guided private tour, it costs you about $300. Do I actually think that Grim went to Strahov? Probably not. The wizarding library there is probably underground and well guarded and isn't known to the public, and you can't find it on Google Maps. But hey, Strahov is a place that exists and it's cool. What's the deal with Prague? I don't know. It's really cool and it's filled with all sorts of really amazing historical and alchemic stuff, and I really want to visit there. So Warner Brothers, if you want to sponsor me, that is the only reason I would ever consider you to sponsor me, so you should probably do that. Okay, bye! I'm kidding, of course. We're not done. Because of course, we have a little bit of housekeeping to do. One, I am trying to get better about live streaming on Twitch, so gonna be hanging out there, trying to get to affiliate, and for that I need 50 followers. Being a follower on Twitch is completely free, so if you want to follow and know when I'm live streaming, right now we are decorating my island Neverland for Halloween and doing all sorts of fun stuff, and sometimes this includes villager hunts, which is a great time. So you should go follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/ZoeAndDex. There is new merch available in the shop. I have finally added masks, and for whatever reason, Teespring wanted a 200% markup on masks. No freaking thank you. So I can't remember what my prices are on masks exactly, but you can get that. It's the WooTuber Naughty mask, and it looks really cool, and it's that price. So be responsible and wear cool masks. Wow, my brain is everywhere today. Welcome to the end card. These are my patrons. Thank you very much, patrons, for allowing me to do what I do. If you are interested in becoming a patron of me on Patreon, the link is in the doobly-doo, and we have a lot of fun over there. Also, YouTube thinks that you will like this video, and also you should go check out the playlist if you haven't watched all of these videos yet. So there you go. Okay, I love you always. Goodbye.